Shartimus Prime, Shartimus Prime. Reading comics, toys are hella sick, hella whacking it. Taking bad hits, taking back hits. Shartimus, subscribe.
Like it's just Stanley in your face. Hey, what's up you guys? ShartimusPrime here, doing another Hot Toys action figure review on the Marvel Thor Ragnarok movie masterpiece MMS 430 Gladiator Hulk 1/6 scale collectible figure. If you're trying to pick this up, you can do so at
Big. Get your big badass toys at BigBadToyStore.com. Click the link in the description below.
And I gotta give a big thanks to MarvelousNews.com for making this review possible. If you want to see the latest in Marvel news, photos, and forums, check it out at MarvelousNews.com. Link in the description below. We have some nice looking packaging over here. I really like that we have this purple foil going on. That's really neat. I haven't really seen that before. I like it. And then on the side it wraps around with the spot varnished Hulk in white. And then on the back you can see some more spot varnishing and very tiny text over there. You can see all the people responsible for creating this figure. And I see you, cock and tit. You can't hide from me. And then on this side you can see it says Hulk spot varnished again. On the bottom there's not much going on at all. But on the top you can see it says Marvel Thor Ragnarok. And then you can lift up the little flap right over here and then fold this down. You can see we get a fist right there, you know, that represents the Hulk. And then we get a foam casing inside. So let's get to it and crack this thing open. And here's a Gladiator Hulk figure out of the packaging. And I can't help myself, but I have to say that this figure is incredible. I'm a huge Hulk fan. Hulk is my favorite Avenger. And I really think this looks very cool. I like it very much. And I do like that they reuse the same body mold. I mean, I'm not surprised by that by any means. But yeah, it's the same Avengers Hot Toys Hulk body mold or Age of Ultron body mold. But of course, they have all this added armor. And yeah, this thing is just way too big to fit on my rotating base, as you would expect. But oh man, I've been wanting to get this for quite some time now. A little behind on getting it, but this thing is just making me so happy looking at it. Now it does come with some really good accessories, so I do want to take a closer look at those, and then we'll take a closer look at the Hulk. So here's all the accessories that we get with the Gladiator Hulk figure, and as always, you want to read through the directions before you start playing with your figure. You don't want to break anything, or you may break something anyway, even if you read the directions. I'll get onto that in just a little bit. But anyway, we have 3 different sets of interchangeable hands, the 2 weapons, and the 2 head sculpts, along with the helmet and the hairpiece swap out, which I'll demonstrate in just a little bit. Just looking at the armor on these hands, I want to say it looked very good. I do like the little detail right here that we see. I wish they added just a little bit more paint to it though. That is a minor gripe, especially with the silver sections throughout on the figure, but they do have this gunmetal color with some light silver, bright silver going over it. And I do like the sculpted detail in it, but I just wish it had a little bit more dirt on it. Looking at the knuckles right over here, I do like that we see the lighter blue. That looks great, and of course the skin tone is just amazing on these things. Looking at one of the right hands right here, I think that looks pretty good. It looks like it has a little bit more wear and damage to it. So you get the fisted hands, you get the weapon holding hands, and then we also get the wide open hands right here with the bendy wires inside the fingers, and they don't really bend too much. They just barely articulate, very stiff. So you can kind of move them backwards more than you could actually bend them in. So, and you can't move the thumb at all. But, you know, they look pretty good. Again, I'll get into more of this whole armor color right here. And then looking at the weapons, oh my goodness, this hammer looks great. I love the silver paint apps on it. Looks very bright, and it does have some wear going on. A beautiful looking fade. If I darken things up, you could see the paint fading right there, and it's pretty hollow too. It doesn't really weigh too much. You can see some of that speckling paint right there. So I think that's really good. I like having some dirt and grime, especially with, you know, a Gladiator type character and weapon. So that's cool. These do look pretty dirty. And then there's a handle right there. When you port these into the hands, you just want to go ahead and slide in like that. You know, you want to kind of be careful with it as you do it. You don't want to, you know, scuff anything up. As I got a little bit of plastic rubbing off on the handle of the axe right here. But man, this axe looks really cool. Yeah, I love all these little dings and scratches and stuff like that. Yeah, that ding right there is really cool. I like that. Very nice looking axe. I'm very pleased with that. And then we get the 2 head sculpts. Now, there's not a whole lot of new going on right over here. I do like both of them. I feel like I'm digging the short-haired version just a little bit more so. I mean, they both look great, but yeah, I think this is actually new. Yeah, I could be wrong. I'm going to do a comparison later on. But I do like this short-haired version. And man, yeah, and the eyes look really good in there, the teeth and the mouth. I mean, just all the details throughout. It's just pretty amazing. And you could just pop that off right there, and you could take the back portion off of his head, and we do have that purse system, so you can move the eyes around. Not the biggest fan of trying to get that back into place, but yeah, you could see how I moved the eye right there, right? Ooh, kind of freaky. But yeah, it's actually not too bad on this. So yeah, that's pretty nifty. I like that. I'm going to leave this off right there. And then we have the Screaming head sculpt, which we'd seen before. And this is the long-haired version. And you can't interchange these parts right here to go with this one. So you really do have just the long-haired version and you have the short-hair version. So we've seen this before. We have the added paint. This looks really good too. I still like it. Got that long hair right there. But yeah, for right now, I'm preferring the short-haired version. And then you can go ahead and take this back portion off right there, and you can move the eyes around, so we have that purse system going on with this one too. Move the eye a little bit. It's just a little bit freaky, yeah. He's got googly eyes. So that's pretty cool that it's there. You know, I don't really like to mess with the eyes too much. And then you have this piece that you attach to the long hair version. And what that does is that it allows you, and it's held together by magnets, as you can see right there. And what that does is it helps you put on the helmet, which looks great. Now when you get the helmet, it's in 2 pieces. You do have to snap it together. Or no, it's not in 2 pieces. I'm sorry, it's in 3 pieces. This piece and this piece come separately. So you have to attach those, and they just clip in there pretty nice. I'm not trying to remove them. I don't want to risk breaking anything, but yeah, you can see how they snap in there. But anyway, I really do like how this helmet came out. I love all the battle damage on it. You can see that we get some brown wash over it, and I wish we had more of this brown wash going throughout the rest of the figure. That paint detail looks fantastic, and I really wish we had more of it throughout. But yeah, I think they killed it with the helmet. I absolutely love it. Then you get this hair right here. I don't know if this is horse hair or not, but yeah, it looks pretty good. I like it. It almost looks like my hair, doesn't it? Could be my hair. Who knows, right? But yeah, I like it. Looks pretty good, you know? No complaints about that. But, oh, that is awesome. Love the helmet. Great looking helmet. So to demonstrate plopping it onto the long hair version, it just sits right on top like that, and make sure it kind of connects. It never really sets in as much as I'd like it to, like how it does with the short hair, because the hair on the sides right here does kind of get in the way. But I'm trying to get the magnet inside the helmet to match up with the square right here, and that's what you're basically aiming for when you put this on here. And there it goes. Yeah, so it's just sitting in there kind of loosely. It's just not as snug on the head as I'd like it to be, you know? Yeah, I don't want to shift it around. Okay, there it goes. It's a little better like that, right? But it just doesn't sit as well as it does with the short hair version. I feel like the short hair version, see how it just plopped right on there? And that looks a lot more snug too. So I'm probably going to have them displayed like this, even though I love the Screaming Hulk, but I don't know. I'm thinking I like this one a little bit more. Now I wanted to just demonstrate plopping on one of the heads right here. They fit on pretty nice. Yeah, there you go. It clicks right on there and looks pretty good. So they sit on there pretty well. And looking at the rest of the figure, oh my god, I love all the details throughout. Now again, we've seen this body mold before, so I'm not going to talk about all the sculpted detail that we're seeing on the body, even though it does look amazing. Even still, we got the chest hair and all that. But I really like the armor. So that's the new bit that we see, of course, added to this figure is all these armor pieces. And I love how it has this really rough texture to it. And we get these multiple colors of brown, and then all the little details right here on the silver bits and everything. There's even a little bit of a brown wash over that silver right here. And then looking at the shoulder pad, which actually snapped on me. So the directions say that this is held together via magnet, and you can just pop it off. And when I took it off, you could see the glue and this piece kind of, you know, detached. But there's this magnet holding it together, so it stays on there just fine. You can just hear it click right on. So that's not to make me upset or anything like that. So I love all these gashes and the paint around the gashes. That is amazing. I'm really liking that. I like how it fades into this darker brown right here. That's cool. Looks like it's been aged, you know, like he's been in these gladiatorial battles for quite some time. I like the straps on the back. You can see some nice fading going on right here. The buckles look impressive as well. I really like the straps and everything. Then here's the, you know, my griping, you know, which is, again, just griping, but I wish we did have that brown wash on this whole portion right here. I like seeing the brighter silver over the gunmetal color, but still, I wish we'd gotten a little bit more of that brown color like how we'd seen on the helmet, see? I just really do think it would have looked a little bit better with that detail added to the rest of this gunmetal colored armor. And then you can see how it goes all the way down to the fist right there. Looks very cool. The straps on the forearms look great too. Then here's the left side. Oh yeah, I'm breaking a little bit of a sweat. This thing is heavy when you're holding it with one hand. Then, oh yeah, that side, the wrist likes to pop off easily. And then looking at the whole skirt portion, the loincloth area, that looks really good too. God, that leather material. I mean, it's all plastic, but it looks like real leather. Little touches of gold. And then looking at the back of that too, that looks really good. Yeah, all the really nice detail. I'm loving it. This is amazing. I'm very impressed right here. See, I love seeing that brown over the silver. You have all these tiny little picked out details, all these little silver dots for the little tiny buttons. That's great. I love the attention to detail right there. And the legs look really good too. Again, you know, more of these little buttons and stuff on the straps. They look great. Yeah, these shin guards look awesome too. Of course, you cannot forget the chunkless. And we got the Hulk toes right there, beating up the camera. Yeah, beautiful looking Hulk toes. I love them. Yeah, I did have this weird mark right here. I didn't do that. I didn't drop the figure or bang it against anything. So yeah, his left toe has a little bit of a brown smear with a little line going across. So a little irksome, but not a big deal. And then there is no texture or anything like that at the bottom of the feet, you know, just have like this kind of weird pattern going on. But hey, still really good looking chancletas. Now to go over the Hulk articulation, of course you can turn the head side to side. Oh, that looks actually really cool seeing him move. You get some good neck and head pivoting, so he can turn his head to that side or that side. And he can look up, but it's always a little bit tricky because I feel like the rubbery material for his skin wants to push it right back into place. But he can stay like that. So he just looks up a little bit, and then he can look downward a little bit more so. The shoulders, especially on the right and left, yeah, you could get both shoulders moving up that much, and you could rotate a full 360 on this side. This side it's trickier with the whole shoulder pad being in the way, but you can see that it can move back that much and forward that much. No bicep swivel on this guy. You do get a joint at the elbow, so he cannot meet the 90-degree mark, but you know, oh, there it goes, bending in that much, and I am reluctant to leave him like that posed because I feel like it could damage the skin material. And then we get these ball joints on the wrists. You can move the hand down and back, and man, these love to pop off easily. It's still very frustrating. So you can move them all the way around, but yeah, it will pop off on you. You do get only a waist joint on this guy, so you can turn him side to side, and he'll pivot at the waist and crunch forward a little bit and back just a little bit. And then his legs move outward just that far, and you can get the Hulk kicking forward this much, back only a tiny bit. He does have an upper thigh cut, and then he has this joint right there at the knee, so it's not really meeting the 90-degree mark. He doesn't really rotate at the knee. And then you can move the ankles down just a little bit, up some. You could rotate the ankle side to side, and he has only a tiny bit of ankle pivot, but it is actually there. Now looking at the figure with the helmet back on there, and one thing I wanted to mention is that when I articulate this figure, I do move the head first, and then I put the helmet right on there. But measuring out this figure all the way to the top of that frill right there, he's at about 21.5 inches tall. It gets to the top of his head, he's at about 19.5 inches tall. Then for a Thor Ragnarok size comparison, we have the Gladiator Hulk next to the Hot Toys Gladiator Thor. And I don't think these fit perfectly in scale. I feel like Thor should be a little bit taller, right? I don't know. Shouldn't the top of his head be closer to the nipples? That's kind of where I'm thinking. Since day one on this YouTube channel, that's kind of been a standard of height. You know, I feel like the head should be around the nipple height to the Hulk. And then for your Hot Toys Hulk comparison, we have the first Avengers movie Hulk figure next to the Thor Ragnarok Gladiator Hulk. One thing that's kind of funny is that I thought these had the same face sculpt, but it doesn't look like it's exactly the same. And then when I'd mentioned this head sculpt over here, this head sculpt didn't come with this figure. He doesn't have an interchangeable head, but it is part of the interchangeable heads that came with the Age of Ultron figure, which I reviewed but don't own. One thing I'm noticing here on this newer Hulk figure is that he does have these tiny little veins. I didn't mention this earlier. And it kind of works, but then sometimes it doesn't work. Like right over here, I have this weird vein going along the front where it almost looks like it's a pencil mark or something. That kind of irritates me a little bit. The older Hulk figure does not have those little lines, and I think it actually works out fine without them. Ooh, and I just tried a head swap over here, so yeah, if you wanted to swap the heads, it will work out. You know, it doesn't really match because he's got the paint right there, but hey, customizers, you know, there you go. Then for your Gladiator Hulk comparison, we have the Hot Toys version, the Marvel Select, the Marvel Legends, and the SH Figure Arts, along with a Gamorrean guard, just in case you're paying attention. So these 4 Gladiator Hulks have 4 different green colors to them. I want to know what you think is the most film accurate green out of these four. I'm thinking actually the Marvel Legend. I don't know, just based off my memory right now, I'm thinking the Marvel Legend is most accurate, but the Hot Toys version I think starts production later than everybody else because they're the only ones that actually got the weapons right, you know? These all have axes with a spike in the back, and it's actually a double-sided bladed axe. I don't know why or how, but it seems like Hot Toys is able to get either the more accurate photos earlier or they start production later. And then here's the Hot Toys Gladiator Hulk. Next to your average 6-inch scale figure, we have the Marvel Legends Big Time Negative Spider-Man. What the heck are you wearing? Ah, Hulk's got a skirt. Ah, you're wearing a skirt, Hulk. What were you doing to that skirt? So I'd like to thank you guys for watching my video. I really do appreciate it, especially when you watch these videos from the beginning to the end, as well as when you hit that like button. If you like the video, please leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think of this figure. Let me know what you think of the review, and hit that subscribe button as well as the notification bell if you have not already. And again, I gotta say, I'm very happy with this figure. The ankle articulation is a little irritating. It was like that before. I was kind of expecting that again on this figure, so I'm not totally surprised. It would be nice to have toe articulation or better ankle articulation, but it's such a hefty figure that I don't want the ankles to be too loose. So yeah, it's kind of a tricky thing to work with, and yeah, I gotta say I'm really happy with what I'm seeing as far as just the existing Hulk mold with all these new added parts. And you can see that I actually took a bunch of them off, so that's pretty cool. That little piece was the piece that broke off earlier. It's not a new broken piece, but yeah, you know, seeing the figure with this whole display option right here, you could, you know, start taking some of the pieces off and everything and play around with it and try to get creative with your displays if you wish. So I really like the figure a lot. I'm very happy with it, and I'm giving it a stud rating of Again, I'd like to know what you think, so please let me know in the comments section below. If you want to see the latest in Marvel news, again, you can check it out at marvelousnews.com. And if you want to follow me on the social media, check me out on Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch. Links to everything in the description below. I'll catch you guys later. Peace!
I'm gonna play with my toys today. Well, I don't care what my people say. I'm gonna play with my toys today. Can't have one, I gotta get them all. Time to make a trip to the local mall. Oh yeah!
That's crispy.
Hey, new ShartimusPrime videos. Hey, you should click one. Yeah, click on one of them. Or subscribe if you haven't.
Your face is my shot.